And we're back.
All right, so like I said, 46 starting off. So the well will fluctuate pretty much between 6.5 to 7.5 gallons per minute. You really don't want anything lower than 3. So this is pretty much pretty average. So it's got good strength, good flow. So it's exactly where it needs to be. And I let that run for a while. And then once I got done, I wait for everything to reset. The pump to kick off. It kicked off within 10 seconds. We wanted 60 seconds or less, and it did it in 10, which means it's a strong pump for refilling all the water I just used. And then the pressure stabilized at 60. So like I said, between 40 and 60. So my point is, the pressure's good, and the gallons are good, and all the well equipment are good. So I'm happy with the well. Even the built-in, there's a pressure gauge on the tank itself, and I always make sure it kind of matches in line with what I took it, and it's right where it needs to be. So even the well equipment is good. There's your lovely little rock. On the inside of the house, all the appliances work like they should. This is just showing you that the electric range fired right up. Now this back burner doesn't glow because it's a warming burner, but I do document that it does work later on. Anytime we're around a water feature, doesn't matter from kitchens, bathrooms, laundry sinks, wherever, always have the cabinet doors open with the water running. I'm just documenting, hey, there's no leaks at time inspection. Plumbing's fine throughout the house. Everything looked great under the sink, so there's no issues there. With the drainage, supply water, even dishwasher drain hose looks fantastic. So no issues there. This is just looking at refrigerator. I look at door seals. Door seals are good. All the drawers work. Freezer's freezing is pushing air to the refrigerator box, as well as the ice and water dispenser are dispensing. So refrigerator's good to go. I do have the ceiling fan here, and it's on, but there's a little remote control, and the remote control did not do anything. So it might just need a new battery. Because usually when you press the button on the controller, lights up that green light and it just didn't do anything. So can't operate that fan with the just over there sitting on the table, which is right here. So start with the battery. If the battery doesn't work, then a new remote might need to be purchased. Fireplace, everything looked fine. So it's a wood burning fireplace. Doesn't really look like it's ever been used. So super clean. That's just the damper. It articulates so where it closes, opens, and stays sealed like it should. Everything looked great in the metal flue pipe going out. No sign of creosote. That's what I'm talking about. You usually get that kind of black junk, so there's no issues there. There's a little toggle switch down here, but it doesn't do anything because I looked at it. It's not wired, so that's generally for a blower in the future if they wanted to add a blower to kind of help force the air into the home. Oh, there's the beginnings of the switch, so that would be considered an upgrade.
Okay.
The deck itself looked great. Again, going back to it, I looked underneath it, now I'm on top of it. Everything's fine out there. Now you do have this one outlet. So here's the fireplace here, here's the entry door. So you got this one outlet right here that is not ground fault protected. Every other outlet is except this guy. So when the home was built, it was required. And the outlets have that test reset buttons on them. So I'm gonna write this up and just saying they just need to drop in a GFI outlet in this place.
Okay.
Because anything within 6 feet of water source, in this case the exterior, if you got something plugged in, a stereo for example, and then you forget about it, it starts to rain, you want that circuit to pop. The primary bedroom door is out of balance, so it's a ghosting door. So if it kind of slowly, kind of self-closes a little, or in this case self-opens. So it just needs to be balanced, that's all it is.
Okay.
I even took a video I dropped in, which I'll drop in the report for you. There's also a GFI outlet in the primary bathroom. It's on the same circuit as the half bathroom and the guest bathroom. So if they lose power in these bathrooms, you're not going to the electrical panel. You're going to this bathroom and see if that outlet has tripped and just needs to be reset.
Okay.
No leaks at the left sink, no leaks at the right sink. However, the left sink was a little bit slow to drain. Since everything else drained fine through the house, that just means a little bit of hair kind of built up in that one drain. It just needs to be clean. That's all it is. Hot water came in at approximately 115 to 116, depending how far away or close I am. Now, most people like it between 120 to 130, so if they find the hot water is not sufficiently hot enough, all they have to do is adjust the thermostats on the water heater, and I can show you how to do that if they're not familiar.
Okay.
Just turn it up, dial it up a little bit. Yeah, all 3 bathrooms just need updated caulking where the backslash and countertop meet, which is no big deal, but you kind of see the open
Yeah.
caulk line
We
right
saw
there.
that when we saw the house.
It's just pretty much just kind of settling over time, especially in that first year, things kind of settle. So I have not seen anything that gives me any concern of settling, like nail pops in the drywall or that kind of cracking you see. Everything looked great on the wall and ceiling structure. And since you got the caulk gun out, go ahead and hit just the base of the shower here, because you kind of see it also opening up at that quarter mold trim. You just want water to dribble down and then go that way to where the wood subfloor is. Laundry looked great, no problems there. it's hard to see, but that's the drain box. No signs of unwanted movement or leakage. And I turned on the dryer, and both spun up and heated, so that tells me the dry outlet's good to go. Look at the dryer vent flow, look good, so there's no issues with the laundry room. And there's another GFI that's also in the same circuit as the washing machine. This one actually has a built-in alarm, so if the washing machine circuit ever popped, then that alarm starts going, "Mee," and screams at you, let you know, hey, I'm down here, come reset me. There's that warming burner I was telling you about, it works. And then there's the oven itself. I set it for 500 to hit 502. That's when a plus or minus 10 degree variance. There's no oven really goes right to one specific temperature. It just means the oven's doing its job. I'm at the half bathroom here, so there's no leaks there. But like I mentioned earlier with the caulking at the backsplash, there you go again. It's no big deal. And jumped in the attic because I flipped on the air conditioner because it finally did warm up for me. And there's only one little tiny thing I found. Everything else for the bones. This is why I care about the most structural stuff. The structure looked fantastic up top. Except you see these little metal plates right here? These are called truss or gusset plates. These are pre-built off-site to, the trusses are to a specific load calculation, and then they're shipped here and the crane drops them in place. And those plates are stamped on. But sometimes when they put siding on the nails, you have this one little truss plate at the end wall, and you see how it's kind of peeling back a little bit? It just needs to be hammered back down. That's it. Okay. That's the only issue I had up top. So that's not really much of anything.
Great.
But that's what it looks like up there. So the trusses look great. The sheathing, that's what the shingles sit on, look fantastic. The visible ducting look good, and full coverage, loose fill fiberglass insulation, all look great. So up top, it's good to go. I take a few shots up there, just kind of give you an idea of what it looks like. Here's the air conditioning side of the HVAC system, is what we call the Delta T. In other words, I compare the air that comes out the unit versus back into the return, since it's on a closed loop. And I take it as close to the unit as possible, in this case right at it. And I'm looking for approximately 15 to 20 degrees between the two temperatures, just to give me an idea, is it accurately cooling, or do I need to further investigate? 48 degrees air out, 64 back in, that's right where it needs to be. So as of today, the unit is cooling like it should.
Okay.
And then there is the furnace unit, which is also located in the attic. So like we mentioned, there's no gas, so it is just an electric furnace. It looked great, all the connections, primary, secondary drain, float switch, refrigerant line set, no issues whatsoever. So the furnace is good to go. I do take moisture readings at all entry doors on the interior side as well as at the bottom corners of windows. And they're green. Green's a good dot. In other words, I'm making sure if water's being blown against the house during wind-driven rain, it's not being blown into the house. So went around all areas of the home. So far, so good. And then this is the guest bathroom in there. No leaks. Caulking again, like I mentioned, which is right here. And I did notice it's missing the drain stopper. It might be just sitting in a drawer somewhere. I opened the bathrooms. I didn't see it. So I just make a notation saying, hey, talk to these guys to see if they know where it is. If not, another one has to be purchased. That's all. There's my heating temperature, 108, really 119. So on electric, I'm usually looking for approximately 115. Anything after that is just a bonus. So if I left it on long enough, it was even climbing even higher. Just saying, so the heat's doing its job. So HVAC is good to go. In the garage, everything looked fine in there. I do test for 3 things. A, I just make sure that the garage door opens and closes like it should. It does. I make sure when I cross those floor sensors at the bottom, the door reverses, and it did. And 3, I simulate something in the path of the door, like say like an object fell in this way. The door's supposed to come down, sense that object, stop, and reverse. In this case, it did not. And that's more for small children, small animals. Typically, the opener itself has a sensitivity knob. It just needs to be clicked up a few more notches to make it a little bit more sensitive. You can go to the manufacturer website and plug in the model number, and the manual will pop up, and it'll spoon feed you how to adjust it yourself. I don't think you need a garage door guy for that.
Oh, okay.
But just an adjustment, because I just wanted to make sure it just reverses, like I said, if something does fall in this way. That's just for me. That's where the water heater is located. Since this is electric, got this little panel here and this panel here, and they're each held on by a single screw. All you got to do is take the screw off, move a little bit of insulation. That's where you're going to access those thermostats I was telling you about. Generally, most modern water heaters have dual thermostats, so if they adjust one, make sure they adjust the other one so they evenly match. I don't want them heating unevenly. But other than that, that's a state unit. I like that unit. It's what I have. Never had an issue with it. It's 50 gallon capacity. No signs of rust, corrosion, leaks, so the water heater is good to go. There's also a filtration system as part of the well system. It's like a water softener as well as the filter. So just get these guys to explain the service and maintenance needs, because everyone's a little bit different. And how often you gotta change filters, stuff like that.
Okay.
And then there's the electrical panel, 200 amp service, which is plenty for a home this size. Electrically speaking, there's nothing wrong with this panel. Everything looked great on the inside as well as throughout the house. And there's even room for expansion. So if they ever need to add a circuit, being like an electric vehicle charger, hot tub, well, they got the room for it. And that should be wrapping things up. And then there's also a generator hookup right there, which is nice to have when you're out in the country and you lose power for 2 weeks.
Yeah, the generator is in that little box, so.
There you go. And it looks like there was, it's hard to see in here, but there's a little kind of an outline of the garage ceiling. It almost looks like a repair. I didn't see any issues on the attic side, so I usually just make a notation saying, hey, talk to these guys so that they know what happened. You know, someone faulted the ceiling. So, and that's my last shot. That's everything in a nutshell.
I know you said that termites, they didn't have the bait station, but are we good?
Yes, I did. I looked for the 5 common wood destroying insect in North Carolina. People seem to only care about termites, but I look for Florida Springs. And that gives you 2 thumbs up. There's no problems whatsoever.
Okay, cool. All right, so well is good. House, for the most part, is good. No termites. All right. Thanks, Chris.
It's a good house.